M&M.
It's where the garage is still at.
Garage. Bubblies to you. Redirecting.
We are live.
You just got a notation.
Not yet, but
what is up, guys?
It is showing.
It is showing. Pop out the chat. Let's see what we get. Oh, that's too big. Too big. Minimize. Oh, there we go. What is going on, guys? Trickling in. Sorry, running a little late. Was getting carried on with pre-game BS and was, oh, shit. Let me redirect. Yeah, welcome. We're going to be talking a bunch of stuff today. We have a Ford Senior Master Tech. We 611 New York. Nathan, what is up? Holy Christ. Senior Master Tech from Indiana. Doing the same thing we're doing, fixing trucks, fixing the Fords, keeping you guys on the road, and we're going to get him into conversation tonight. I was going through my shorts, and I liked what you guys were talking about. Let me go actually to it. About the mass airflow sensor. That was a good one. We're going to talk about that, what the difference is between the mass airflow sensor in your Power Stroke versus your wife's EcoBoost, not EcoBoost, a gas job, because the EcoBoost, we got map sensors. Fuel storage, myself included. I know a lot of you guys have not been driving your trucks. I want to remind you, make sure, beating a dead horse, make sure you guys have the additive in there. My wife actually brought that up. It was a good point to bring up, just to make sure you guys are keeping up on fuel storage, because what happens to diesel fuel when it's sitting, what's up, 538 was 550. Going down. Calgary, Canada, 1.91 per liter. Sounds expensive. Audi. Much more lately. Cody's got something revitalized. We're gonna talk about a little black car. It's cool to see little diesels busting out 50, 60 miles a gallon. That's freaking awesome.
Especially at 85 miles an hour.
And how many miles? Wait, how many miles do you have on this thing?
Chassis is 370.
What's on the short block?
Chassis is 375. The short block is 455.
Krautster, yes. Strategic diesel reserve, fully treated. Strategic, yes. 599 Washington, PA, 550 gallon here in Texas. Was that supposed to be Texas?
Cherry flavored was 539 and regular was 599.
Here's a 450, 99. I actually got a 2000 at work. I guess that we could probably talk about too. A 99 450 7.3. Every cold start requires a second key cycle to get a wait to start light. On the first key cycle, I have no communication to scanner. Second key cycle gets the wait to start light and communication. Interesting. Is it always consecutive, that it's always the second key cycle, or is it sometimes the third, or sometimes it's always the first? That's quite the quite interesting. Busy weekend ahead. PTT 60K maintenance. SNS disaster being installed. Guess what? I got one too. SNS. I think I just commented on their YouTube, their Facebook post earlier today. I think out of all of the things that you guys are having us do to your truck, I think the SNS is by far, whether it's the 2.0 or the 2.1, or going from the 2.0 to the 2.1. We have a video coming up for you guys that are wanting to upgrade to that newer style fuel header and the Donaldson filter. We're going to be showing you guys how simple it is to achieve that different filter. But definitely something you should have on your 6.7. I was talking with a gentleman, another tech actually, one of us in a Ford dealer in the Toronto area, and he has a 21, same setup as mine, but he has a key and not push button. So I don't know if he had a different different trimmed out lariat, but he was also considering installing that on his vehicle. Just to have the insurance, the extra protection. We're using this fuel and it's going through and it's getting pressurized and then getting sent back to the tank. I'm sorry, to the fuel cooler and then to the back to the tank. And we're not filtering that fuel. So I think it's a good idea, a very good idea to have that filter on the return side. And if that happens, you have a failure, know that you're just going to be limited to the high pressure pump and a new filter. The proof's in the pudding. Look what they did to their CP4, taking apart and turning that piston so it didn't go on that roller like it should. Was basically perpendicular to it. So very interesting. You guys should check that out. Point of contact. This would be something for Senior Master, for us. Any other techs out there? I had asked you guys in the short earlier this week. We get the job assigned to us. We got the paperwork. We got the keys. We're walking out to the truck. Patrick, what is the first thing you do? You're walking up to the vehicle. What are you looking at? You looking at the tires? You looking at the shit hanging from the mirror? What's your first thing you're doing?
Seeing, you can tell a lot just from the outside as to how well they take care of something. If it sounds silly, but if it's filthy and it's all beat to hell, you can pretty much guarantee what it's going to look like under the hood. They haven't taken care of things, or they've had Billy Joe Jim Bob in there doing things he shouldn't be doing.
I think for me, I would second the visual. My first thing, even before I even turn the key, is I'm looking at the oil change sticker. Sometimes they don't even have an oil change sticker. But if I do see the oil change sticker, I'm looking next at the mileage. Whoa, man, the guy didn't tell me he left his dog in the back seat. Gotta make sure there's no loose animals. But sometimes, I mean, it's dirty. You ever get in those cars
Filthy.
where the garbage in the front seat is level with your shoulder because it's level with the shit in the back seat?
Or you
And it's
think
like
you need a tetanus shot when you're done?
We're gonna get Ford Boss. He's gonna be coming in right now. We're gonna be letting him in to join the fun. Let's see. Oh, he's back on vacation. Is there any hope of Ford going back to the CP3 like Cummins did? As far as I know, there is absolutely no room to put a CP3 in place of the CP4. If it was mounted someplace else, maybe, but
Ford never
physically,
used a CP3 though. So
yeah, he said back to like Cummins did. Is
yeah, they're
Ford
not
gonna
going
go back?
backwards.
No.
They don't make enough pressure. Not for the new diesels.
What's up, Ford B?
What's going on, boys?
You all right?
Yep.
We were just talking about point of contact. Like the first thing you do when you get ticket and you get the keys and you're walking out to your customer's vehicle, to your client's vehicle, and some of the things that you go over, you're walking up to it. What are the things you're looking at? Are you looking at overview of the vehicle? Is there something you do when you get into the vehicle? I was explaining to everybody that I look
first
at
thing-
the oil change sticker.
The first thing I do is I look at that thing and make sure my number's not circled on the bottom.
On what?
I don't want no comebacks.
Oh, okay.
And then secondly, I'm like, if there is another technician that's right underneath mine, I'm like, oh, let me pull up that SH real quick. Service history. Oh, he just did something. And then I'm like, oh, the customer's complaint is
Bring it back in.
wait a second, boys. This is a comeback and it's not my comeback. And I'm not about to lose my tail on this. So go give this to the guy that worked on it last.
Amen.
Very good. Very good.
Amen.
Okay.
And
Before he
then-
even pulls it in.
I flip to the next page and I'm like, did these service writers do their job? Did they actually get the recalls on and put them on the ticket? Nope. They didn't put that on there. They didn't put that on there.
Wow.
They didn't put that on there. So then I go right back up front. And I said, before I even pull this in, I don't have a signature for the hour labor.
Dang. What? He busting it out.
Somebody's going to put a signature on this. I don't care if it's a
Wow.
service writer. Or I don't care if you got to go find the customer because I'm not working on it until I get a signature, a guaranteed time that I'm getting paid if it ain't warranty.
Wow.
Second of all, this customer came here and there's 2 recalls on it that you didn't put on. So put those recalls on here because it says we can be fined if we don't do certain recalls.
Mm-hmm.
So put them on the
Mhm.
paper because I'm not signing off on this without them being done.
Where's my Oasis printout too?
Yeah, that's what I go for. I always try to make sure I have an Oasis printout.
Amen.
And then I sometimes I'll do like since you guys showed me, since CP and Aaron, you showed me that on PTS you could click on that previous codes and stuff that were set in the computer on the
Connected
Oasis.
vehicle.
Yeah, connected vehicle
Mhm.
data. I'll click on that real quick and I'll see, okay, there's things that have popped up over the last couple weeks, and I'll hurry up and jot those down real quick so I don't have to go back to it. And then I'll take all my paperwork and I'll go out there to the vehicle. And as I'm walking up to the vehicle, I'm like, okay, the bumper looks good, the tires look good, door's got some scuffs and stuff in it. This is a pretty banged up work truck, so I'm clear. Or if it's a brand new 2022 Navigator black label like I just pulled in yesterday, I guess this version's not even out on the market other than a few dealers that said had it. It's not even out yet. I'm like, I'm going over this thing with a fine tooth comb. I want to see every scratch on this thing
Mm-hmm.
because this is $100,000 plus vehicle. So I go around it and look to see because there's a little ding there, there's a scratch there, and I have my own little picture of a SUV on the back of it, and I'll mark everything that I see on that little SUV. And then I'll go to the vehicle and I'll get in and I look around. And there's no money or nothing out. There's no weapons, no. All right, I'm ready to roll. And I'll try not to touch the customer stuff if I can safely see in my mirrors and everything else messing with their stuff. But if I have to adjust the seats and mirrors, I will safely do it because safety of the vehicle and me is more important than them being cranky because the seat was
Right.
moved. Plus, most of
Absolutely.
these vehicles have presets anyway. So, and then I'll bring it in. And, sometimes if it's not like if it's a concern about noise or something like that, and I feel like the vehicle's safe, I'll go take it on a quick test drive so I can see if I can pinpoint something else or get a feel for taps and rattles and squeaks and stuff that they drive it every day. So they may be desensitized to it where I can pick it up right away as soon as I hear it. Hey, you got a couple wheel bearings or something going on, or you got sway bar links that are tapping, those are quick upsells. Plus it's honest repairs for the customer. So I go do all that real quick. But if it doesn't seem like it's safe to drive, I'll just pull it right into the stall and start going over my work, my concerns and stuff. But I've got a pretty lengthy process before I even get started on the vehicle. I think the Ford warranty department needs to understand that 0.2 or 0.3 a lot of times doesn't cut it.
I agree. I think that's definitely needs to be revisited. Because there's more to it than meets the eye. Vernon Gibson says, I have a comeback. Go back, that I've had to take to the dealer 3 times now. First time was due to excessive vibration during acceleration. I explained that it felt like a drive shaft, and
And
I clicked off. Yeah, there's definitely something that you get accustomed to when you get the truck into the stall, the vehicle, just like Ford Boss. He's going through all this, and it's a good thing to double check the service advisors, because a lot of you guys are bringing your vehicles in and are not knowing what goes behind the scenes when we write the vehicle up. We are supposed to be printing that Oasis campaign, and anything that is open, whether it be like we were talking about one of the last live streams, 21 MO5s coming out. We all 17 through current, all these little Luma duties, myself included, we have another tailgate recall. Well, I just got right here. Here it is. Just got my letter.
Yeah, I saw that. There's the tailgate recall for the electric and mechanical. Both have updates.
Wiper arms flying off. That's one that we're still waiting.
Wiper
Wiper
arms.
motors, I saw that yesterday.
Yeah, and then the escapes, the edges, the focuses, the transits, they have that massive, almost 3 million shifter cable bushing coming out that we're going to be swarmed with.
Yeah.
There's all
Yay.
kinds of stuff coming out, man. I opened it up.
210s.
310s, yeah.
Yep. You watch it.
I opened
Rick's
it up
doing
today, and I'm looking at all this stuff, and I'm like, man, some of this stuff is absolutely ridiculous. How do you mess this up? How do you freaking mess this up from the
It's like they don't
factory?
research anything. They just shove it out the door, and we'll let the technicians deal with it.
Yeah, I don't. And then you tell the customers, why would you tell the customers? Here's what I don't get. Why would you tell the customers ahead of time, hey, I'm going to advance notice you that the fourth quarter of this year we'll have an answer for you, but we don't know what we're going to do yet. So I can get you all worried and spun up and then have no answer for you, and then leave it on us while the customer's like, oh, what is this all about? Yeah, just tell them something. Lie to them. Who cares? But just you're telling them there's a safety recall coming out on the shifter cable that they've already been into the dealer for 3 or 4 times already, and you're giving them no information on it, and you're just leaving them to hang out there to dry. Why?
Yep.
Don't say anything then. Just don't even say anything.
Yep.
oh, then it comes out with the NTSB or whatever.
Yeah.
Then the customers get really pissed off because the government's telling them before the company is.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but when you say, "Oh, we don't have a fix right now, no parts are available, we won't have anything until the fourth quarter," good luck.
So you're gonna mean I got to wait 3 months to hear anything?
I don't understand.
Meanwhile,
you're saying the cable is coming off the transmission, and you could be stranded in drive while you think you're in park and go to get out of the vehicle, and the vehicle start to roll away. I literally seen it happen to a lady at the pump when I was leaving the dealership. She pulled up in like a 15 or something or 16 Fusion or whatever it was, and she had it in park. And then she went to go swing open the door real quick and get out of the car, and the car started rolling forward. And I pulled my vehicle off from the stoplight. I ran the stoplight, ran right into the gas station real quick, parked my vehicle in front of her. She jumped back in real quick and hit the brake. And I got up underneath the hood and shifted the lever forward and parked manually, and then zip tied the cable to it and said, "You got it. Your vehicle's down right now. You're done. The bushing just finished. It was out the door, and you just pushed it the rest of the way out the door. You're done right here. Just leave the vehicle where it's at, find a way home, tow it right down the street to the dealer where we're at, and I'll fix it tomorrow."
You're done.
Oh
man, you're literally done. I seen it. How often do we get to see the safety issue happen right in front of our eyes that these recalls are for? We normally don't get to see it happen right in front of our eyes, and I physically seen the Super Duty tailgate open going down the road. Right in front of me, the guy had all his paint buckets and his paint materials and his extensions for his rollers, everything. I'm going down 290, 355, and all of a sudden the tailgate opens on the Super Duty, and I'm like, no.
You're like, what the?
And I speed up next to the guy, and I'm like, hey, man, your tailgate's down. And he pulls over real quick, and I pulled over behind him, and I explained to him, I was like, hey, we have a campaign open on this, man. So these things just kind of wildly.
My God.
So, he brought his truck.
Oh,
he brought his truck to the dealer, and I did the the clean out of the connector and everything like that, and the rewiring and all this stuff. It's like, man, this is.
Wow.
And then the same thing with the fusion. I got to witness that. And I think to myself, twice in the history of me working in the field, have I actually got to physically see the safety thing happen right in front of me that basically the vehicle was flawed with. And I've never seen that before.
Oh, I can't say that I've ever had that happen or been able to see that happen. I did find it kind of weird that they have an option for you to call SCC if the vehicle has already yeah. I can't think of the word. I can't say
It's
it.
already having the issue.
Yeah, and has been damaged.
Yeah.
Because of it coming down. So it's like you're not going to mention what the fix is, and it's like, hold on, I'm going to read verbatim. That's good to talk about because I liked the verbiage that they chop 50. You can follow along. Ford Motor Company is committed to building a community of happy and satisfied customers, and that's good. I'm glad. I want them. I want that to be, at forefront. To demonstrate that commitment, we are providing a no-charge program for your vehicle with the VIN showed above, and then your VIN is right above here. And it is. We are providing a no-charge program for your vehicle. Ford Motor Company launched a program for customers who previously repaired their power release tailgate and continue to be driving down the road and having their tailgates open. And this would allow them to take part in this enhanced repair. Well,
Yeah.
I don't want to wait 3 months to find out what that means. As a technician, I'm thinking, okay, are they going to be doing something with wiring? Because the last one they had us, take these two circuits out of the lowest connector that was for the tailgate switch and put it in its own connector and replace the tailgate switch and blah, 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 blah. So I'm thinking, like, what is this enhanced repair going to be? Is this going to be another wiring repair? Is this going to be, we're not going to be replacing the tailgate. Tailgate actuator, maybe?
You know how we could have alleviated this whole entire thing with that connector that we had to do that. And I said this from the very, very, very beginning, even when we came to the meetup and I was talking out there at your shop.
Yep.
We could have fixed this whole entire thing and not had to go through any of these shenanigans. Just pull the connector apart, make sure everything's clean inside that. Take the connector, put it back together with just a little bit of XG12, just a little bit, tiny bit to insulate it, put it all back together, put the connectors back up on the frame rail. Well, wait, before you put them on the frame rail, take some of Ford's rubberized undercoating or something like that and coat those two connectors completely. Seal them up completely. All the way around the outside. I've done it on many ones that are not even under warranty anymore that have already had the repairs done. I told my buddy, I said, you want me to do this or not, or you want me to do it my way? And he says, just do it your way. I pulled both connectors off the frame rail. I coat them in that rubberized undercoating, a little bit of the higher end stuff instead of the cheap $3 or $4 bottle. I got like the $10, $12 bottle stuff from like Duplicolor, Shield Armor, whatever the heck it is. And I coat them, leave them off the frame, let them dry completely, and then re-snap them. No moisture, no water, no nothing gets inside those connectors. And if you ever need to open them back up, take a razor blade right at the edge where they come together, just run it real lightly around, pull them right apart, put them right back together, couple spritz, seal it back up, you're done. And we would have never had to go through any of this crap.
I had quite a finagle with one that I experienced, and I don't think people realized that there are communication wires going to all of these connectors that Ford Boss was just talking about, and the severity of what happens when you induce water into those. Now, mind you, here is, I'm trying to visualize with you guys. Okay, so here's your trailer hitch and here's your spare tire. You have this connector with wires coming this way and wires coming out this way. So these bottom this bottom section of harness, water's not going to pool up here. It's going to pool down here in the bottom row of pins. And what happened to us, water got in this connector, and every time the dude came to a stop and settled, water shorted out these two bottom pins. Airbag light came on, cluster went dead, radio stopped working, HVAC stopped working.
Yeah, because that's the HS3 network.
Yep. Goes to take off, everything comes back. I'm like, what the fuck does this have to do with anything?
Yeah.
It was water.
Yep.
Just an exact same spot ass on that. I really, really did, because water and electricity don't mix. Not that you're going to get shocked in vehicle stuff. I'm just saying, like, when you're doing a resistance testing, because that is not going to connect to whatever circuit your water is touching. So if you have an Allumaduty, not so much the 11 through, I don't really have a wiring issues with 11 through 16s, but when you got the Allumaduties, I don't know why. It's they started adding all that creature feature stuff, and it seems that's we got all this BS. But I did it on mine. If you guys have an Allumaduty, heed Rich's caution, and go. It take 5 minutes, bro. Lay underneath, look at both insides of your trailer hitch, and you're going to see maybe 3 or so on the driver's side, and maybe 2 on the passenger side. If you guys have been adding that rear dually harness from Limitless that we've been able to provide for you guys know the connector right down here. Get some of XG12 that Rich just was talking about. It's really, really nice. You don't need a whole glob oozing out. Yeah. And then maybe even if, put some on the connector on the female part, and even just smear your finger just to make it all, flat, take the excess off so it's not, going to be oozing out. And then, apply that undercoating, or even what somebody said up here, use Permatex instead of undercoating, the Ultra Black.
I had a guy he said, if you get everything the way you want it, everything's perfect, exactly the way you want it, grab yourself one of those big hot weather pack sleeves. If you can find one big enough for the industrial cables, and slide it over the connectors and shrink that weather pack sleeve over those connectors, and then make your little slit in the back so you can put your little anchor point back on and put it back up on the frame. And I was like, dude, I think it's a little overkill, because then I have to reseal that thing every single time. Just take some of that undercoating, just right around the connectors and be done. But that's the harness you're talking about. It's the HS3 harness, and on those Super Duties, I have an issue with that all the time. It takes down the radio, it takes down the backup camera, it will mess with the turn signals and stuff back there. It'll mess with random IPC. It'll do all kinds of stuff, and it's mainly the connectors on the driver's side for some reason, and you won't know what's going on at first, and all of a sudden out of nowhere it'll just intermittently start happening, and you open up that connector and it's like cotton candy inside that connector back there. Ooh. And you're like, what? There's no pins left. Well, there's only 2 options. You're either ordering a female and male connector by the call out in the wiring schematic, or you're going to make your own connector, or you're going to hardwire everything in, and you're going to eliminate that connector completely. Because honestly, at the end of the day, that connector doesn't even need to be there. They should have let that go all the way back to the lights and stuff where all the plugins and stuff were. They didn't even need that rear connector right there. I know they easy change, easy swap out if you want to get that section of harness, but that connector really does not need to be there.
Maybe, I don't know why would they've done accessibility for repairs, for I don't want to say accidents, but when that shit when that stuff happens. Speaking of wiring, I have a video coming up. I wrote down a little note: off-roading. Call right now. I'm calling you. Call. Raise your hands. How many are using? I know it's 4x4. I don't go 4x4. How many are using your Super Duty right now to 4x4? Did you go and purchase an OVRV sticker so you can? Well, we go up north and there's trails and you can take your truck. You got to buy a special little pass. Do you have property? You guys go 4-wheeling? Are you a whistling diesel and just are a 4-wheeling maniac? If you do, I want you to be very cautious of road debris, trail debris, stuff you're going to see on the road just because of the truck and it feels higher. Well, we still have stuff that is low and can be hit. And in the video that I have coming up, you guys are going to see some carnage that happens when one either, I think this particular vehicle with just how this is upfitted, I would probably say was in the woods, maybe attending to a power pole restoration of some sort. So given the environment this is in, I wouldn't say this is abnormal, but it begs a question. What if you were to hit something on the road? What's going to happen? What did you hit? Well, you're going to see just what can happen when you hit stuff in the road. What is this guy? I got this written down. Let me go back up here.
Did they ever find out what they were doing on the expeditions and the navigators catching on fire in the driveway? I didn't see anything new pop up on that.
Mm-mm.
Said it was under investigation and they were trying to figure it out, but I didn't see anything new.
I haven't heard anything new either.
Mass airflow sensor.
That's a question for CP as well. As somebody asked me at work today, they said, "Hey, do you know exactly why they discontinued the production for this year on the Mach-E's?" And I said, "Let me find out from somebody who knows much more than me about this. I don't know the exact reasons why."
They stopped production?
Well, that's what the guy said. He said, when I was waiting, I was waiting to order my Mach-E. I went to go order my Mach-E, and I was told by the dealership that they stopped production of the Mach-E right now because of the problems that they're having with the battery issues.
Really?
They're having
I
back
saw where
problems.
they were canceling orders.
Oh,
They had
maybe.
they had back problems that we're currently waiting on backs.
Is that the module you were talking about, the controls, or is it the actual battery pack itself?
The back, it's the high voltage junction box with the contactors and everything in it.
Is that the unit underneath? It's like attached to the battery that has all kinds of crap in it.
It's in the front of the battery, inside the battery.
Yeah. We had a not that one, not a Mach-E, but there was a newer hybrid that came out. It was either in an Escape or something like that, and one of the I don't know if it's like a mega fuse or something inside went bad inside the unit, less than 1,000 miles. And they had to drop that whole unit down underneath it and pull the module apart just to replace one little small part that took like 3 days of pinpoint tests to find out, because they were going nowhere in the right direction. And I was like, this is what we're going to, man. Hey, wake up call, boys. This is it. You better get used to hybrid technology, because they're even a lot of these guys in the aftermarket world are starting to build a 4-motor or 6-motor. They're playing around with semis that are all driven by motors. Even not just Tesla, but other companies as well are trying to come up with their own patent designs, because everything's going that way.
Yep, unfortunately. I don't know why, but
anything new on the upper fuel filters burning the truck down? I'm still hearing about it. Should I do the upper filter retrofit or no? I mean, I've been doing quite a few of them. If you do them, I would do the PTT version with in the description. I put in listed out the male, the female, and the 90-degree quick disconnect for the 6 AN to 4 AN little retrofit rigmarole I did for mine, because I wanted to have the accessibility to keep the 3 quick disconnects and not go from 2 to having to use a wrench to remove the return line. So we just did one a couple weekends ago.
Something up too. One of your guys found me on TikTok, and he said, "Hey man, love you on Aaron's show. That you guys did an awesome job." And then another guy had noticed this comment and said, "Oh, you're that guy." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm that guy." And he said,
that guy.
what do you think about the disaster prevention kit and all this other stuff? I said, I love it. Aaron seems to have really good luck with it. A lot of the guys that run it, they love it. I was like, I don't know too much about it because I don't install them like he does, but I do know if he's for it, I'm for it because he's 100% honest like I am. So I don't see any issue with running. He's like, but you said, this is the part I didn't clear up. He said, you said, well, don't use any aftermarket filters. What I mean by aftermarket filters is if you're going to run the standard style filters that go on your Super Duties, run the Motorcraft filters. But if you're interested in an aftermarket upgrade that's more robust, that's actually going to work properly, any of this stuff that Aaron puts on these vehicles is not, it's actually, to me, substantially stronger than the factory stuff they put on.
Going to meet or exceed OE.
Yes, go up.
Absolutely.
Do not go down. But that's that. We shouldn't have to say that stuff. That should be common sense built into everybody. But unfortunately, and no dig to other people.
Right.
It's not always common sense. Go up, but never go down. So no Napa filters, no Fram filters, no none of that other stuff on your Super Duties. Motorcraft or above, meet or exceed. That's what I mean by do not use aftermarket little clip-in cheap junk plastic filters that's going to give you a little small mini geyser or wannabe geyser out of the top of it and then burn your truck down. Motorcraft or above, and you guys know what that means. That's it. That's all I had.
Yeah, the Brandon Powerstroke, he's talking. There he is. Hello, boys. I'm back.
Hey, I'm gonna go eat with them. They're outside.
Hey, holla at me.
All right.
Peace out. Is there room for the disaster kit and the upper fuel filter upgrade? Most def there is. Was just going to tell you the guys. There's the Donaldson spin on for the disaster prevention, and then they have HSM has a Baldwin spin on filter. Wasn't it 4 micron nominal?
Something like that.
Was the new one? You guys tell me. Spin on old style fuel filter meets or exceeds the OE spec or the plastic filter, which if you do the upper, I mean, you might as well do the lower. And I just did one on a gentleman who had a 60-gallon S&B, and it was pretty freaking slick. And he was happy. It's pretty slick. Cat filter. There are Baldwin counterparts, and even Donaldson has a one, a big canister like the Cat one, but has a clear bowl on the bottom. So you could even have, a water separator viewing cup in that filter. So I don't know. I might check that out for the lower one, just to get rid of the Cat. I think having the ability to just lay underneath there, see if you have any water. I think maybe I'll try that out just to see what that's like. But I definitely would do the upper filter, and yes, it will have room for the fuel filter if you do the HSM. I know that some fuel filter kits are mounting where the disaster prevention kit from SNS would go. So depending on what fuel filter kit you're going to get, make sure where it's going to mount, if it's going to stay in the stock cup. S&P cold air intake for the 467 states it increases airflow up to 40%. Does this require any reprogramming at all to take advantage of this increase? Just curious, thanks. No. That's a good point. Talking about mass airflow here, I got written down was the short I talked about today. That engine wants to eat as much air as it can. What we control is fuel to that air. So we can always control fuel, but we don't really care how much air is coming in. It just feed me. So no, that doesn't have to be programmed or anything. And talking about a mass airflow sensor, which you're going to have to transfer over from your stock filter to the SMB. What does the mass airflow do on a diesel compared to that on your gasoline? Big difference. We use the mass airflow sensor on the gasoline for fuel calculation because we need to know how much fuel comes into how much air comes into the engine, and then for that we deliver that a given amount of fuel. For diesel, we don't care how much air comes in. We're just sucking, and it just wants it all. But we are using the mass airflow more to determine EGR flow. So when we, the video that I'm going to show you guys, when we have our pinpoint tests, when we command EGR flow, one of the questions it asks us is, did our mass airflow sensor change readings when we induced EGR flow? And the PCM looks at that to see when and how much EGR for the air that's coming into the engine. Do we give just a little bit of EGR? Do we give a lot of EGR? And the vehicle that I'm actually working on that's giving me an issue right now is an Alumaduty, a 2019, got a P0401, been to another dealer, and they replaced the EGR cooler core. And I don't really have problems with the EGR cooler cores on the Alumaduties because their holes in the cooler are about as big as this pen. If you had an 11 through 16, they're about that big. I don't really see problems with those. So I'm having a repeat 401, and I'm going to be paying close attention to this mass airflow sensor and EGR ports. Remember the video that we did for that 20EE where I wasted a lot of time, had to go way back up front and found EGR ports that were clogged and was not flowing the right amount of EGR. So definitely don't get burned on that.
Right.
Good video.
Tom says, will the dealer still replace the upgraded upper filter, or once you upgrade, is it my responsibility?
Depends on your dealer if they stock
Yeah.
some filters or not.
Well, I mean, let's say he brought the filter. Would they
I
be up to
wouldn't-
the technician?
I wouldn't say no. As a
If
tech.
it was a diesel tech, yeah. If some guy in Quick Lane or the service center, they'd be like, what am I supposed to do with this filter?
Right.
He may not feel as inclined. Make Gordon
Dealer-
change it. He can figure it out.
Dealer's gonna do anything to make money, so yeah, they're gonna charge the guy for changing it.
Absolutely. Let's see what else guys hits. Ain't nobody got time for that. Where's the link to the upper filter fittings? I didn't have a link. I just put the information. I believe the what do we find? I think we found them both on eBay. Was it eBay? Was eBay one eBay and one Amazon? I don't. I think I put it in there. You'll have to go to the video and see. But dudes are finding them, and if you want, I don't have it over here. Email me. I have a picture. I couldn't. I wish I could upload a little picture to the description, but I took a picture of the exact tag of the bin I pulled the 90-degree Parker fitting out of. So if you want that, I can email you that picture so you can source that. It was like $15 a piece, but I wanted it to be quick disconnect, and I don't know. I wanted to do a little better. I didn't want to use a wrench to kind of defeat the purpose of having it'd be a quick disconnect. Would you ever use Wix fuel filters? I don't know. I'd have to if it was an oil filter, yeah. Fuel filters, I guess I don't know enough about the micron rating for the Wix fuel filters. If it met or exceeded what the lower and upper are, then yeah. But no, I have not used them. Wicks are for candles. Silly wabbit. That's a good question, Mario. I don't know. Do you use Wix? Y'all ever had an issue with the large bolt connecting the traction bar to the truck backing out any? No.
Never seen that.
I don't know why that would be doing that, but something don't sound right. Big, Big, I was gonna wait to say something to you guys. So S&B, I'm all about S&B, the tanks. I love them. Great fitment. Croucher just reminded me. Banks reached out to us and is going to be sending their Ram Air filter setup. And we're going to check it out. I'm kind of excited to see the difference between the Banks, and I've just seen it, online in pictures, but I haven't seen it. Actually, I saw one today. What am I talking about? One of the customers that came in and had me change his oil. He actually had it. This is the first one that I've actually seen. Definitely, when I started it, I did know he had it. It was definitely an audible noise change when it fired up. So I'm kind of looking forward to that, to see what the old Gale is got for these great power strokes. I'm still, man, I have no time. Still waiting to get the diff cover on. Great quality product. I got two other things you guys are probably going to want to be drooling on. Bassman over here already knows. I don't know. I'm excited for it. I know Workplay TV, he did a video on it. That's where I saw it for the first time. But yeah, I'm excited to show you guys. A-Rod, I'm trying to check my cabin vents on my 21350 DRW because I have water in my wire trays. Oh no, I'm having trouble removing the driver's side rear seat back. How do I get to it? Okay, perfect. Go to my channel, go to my playlist, and click on PTT's mods. Okay, scroll down, and you're gonna see a loop. I can't remember the title of it, but it's for that back seat. It's something I added on. And I show you exactly how to finagle the seat up a little bit, and you got to go behind. I show you, but versus me explain to you, take 5 minutes, check that video out, and you'll see. I see what he's talking about. You'll see what I'm talking about. Death wobble. Check that front out. That front end out, guys. I'm telling you. I wouldn't hesitate to use Wix filters. Okay.
I mean, I put a Wix in the Volkswagen.
Okay.
Well, that's a Volkswagen.
My 6.0 got 10 miles a gallon unloaded. Oh, shit. That's awful. That's just awful. What are you guys getting right now, 2020? City driving, I'm like 18.1, 18.2. What are you guys at? What is your power stroke getting right now? If you're towing, if you're untowing, let's do an MPG check. I'm not driving mine, but my last fuel calculation was in the 18s. So, I mean, for 9,000 pound truck, that's not too terribly bad. I know when I went out to Pennsylvania, I got 23, doing about 73, 75 miles an hour. So that wasn't too bad either. Let's see what this guy, go back up here. 19 to 21. Hey, can't complain with that. 17 with 40-inch tires. Built right. Yep. I was about there, but I'm exactly 15 mpg, 6-inch lift, 37 tires. Okay. 14.7. Dang, I thought you'd be higher than that. Oh, 08, 250, 6.4, 17.5. Man, them 6.4s. Oof, empty at highway speeds. 18 DRW, 16.7. 18.19 around town. Okay, that's, hey, can't complain around that. I'm looking at live data. Should the EGR or even the VGT actual percent be as close as possible to the percent it's asking for? If you have a desired PID, that actual is supposed to be damn close. Like it's not supposed to be far off at all. 17, work truck, 2012, I get almost 11. Eco, okay, that's a good question. How many of you guys are rolling an Eco for the 10 speeders out there? I'm always rolling an Eco. I know Daddy Diesel, he's rolling an Eco. Okay, BP Brian, he checking in. He got 20. He's got 20. That's can't beat that. 22 around town. Eco 19, 16 to 19. Level kit 35. That's some big boy shit. That's a lot of mass. Daddy, howdy. I was going manual labor. Hey, there's no problem with that. Get your work on. 14.2 unloaded. 18.9 to 21 towing 14 thou. Damn. Doing 15, 250 towing 12K fifth wheel just over 10 flat towing, but under when I get into the hills. I have yet to be towing a fifth wheel. Here comes Mario checking in 18 city and 22, 24 freeway. Damn. Man, that's not bad. That is not felt like a dog in eco. I will second that. I will second that. Everyone notice? Did anyone notice everyone drives slower since the pandemic hit, or is it just me? No, I disagree. I think people have been getting crazy. And what's really weird is I've been noticing so many people so impatient and passing people in the left-hand turn lane. Whoa, did you just see that dude?
People
Just dust and shit's flying up. What the? Here goes another dude. What the fuck? They're like frog hopping each other
yeah.
just to get to the next light. I don't know what's going on. Not impressed with my MPG. Either am I, buddy. Either am I. Getting all the ladies in that Jetta, huh? Yeah, getting 52 miles a gallon at
We're
80
doing
miles
more,
an hour.
you know what they say.
A lot of high teens, a couple in the 20s. Bone stock and clothes, 19. Okay, 1920 to 22 highway with EDT, around 12 to 14 pulling 9 to 10K on a 19.67 crew cab Lariat Ultimate. I mean, that's with the 6-speed, that's not bad. Do you select eco every time you start up, or will Forescan set eco as default? I don't think Forescan can do that. However, if I hit eco and come back within a certain amount of time, it'll still be on. But if I okay, scenario, get to work, go to lunch, eco's it's going to ask me, do you want to resume an eco? But if I were to come in, leave, within a half hour or something, I'm going to get back in, it'll still be an eco. So it's kind of weird. I don't know what the timer is or whatever. It's just like I'll get in my truck, I'll use the exhaust brake, turn it off, and come back to it, and it won't be on. But I talked to DS Trucks. He's like, "Oh yeah, my spark brake stays on all the time. I shut it off," and I was like, "Sure as shit." He turns it off. We come back to the thing in a couple hours, and its exhaust brake's still on. I'm like, what the hell? I don't know. Just I don't know. I don't think there's any difference within a 450 and a 350. I mean, exhaust brake buttons are going to function whether or not it's got 2 wheels in the back or 4. I just thought that was kind of weird. Big Bad Bo, between 12 and 13, pulling 10K constantly, consistently at 70. 12 to 13. Was pissed today. 2 cars passed and stopped a school bus with its flashes on. Ooh. People are driving more crazy. I have crews set at 100 in a state up north and they pass me like I'm standing still. Bro, weren't you on your bike? Oh, Christ. It will ask you if you want eco. Yes, it will. It will. It will. I stopped using sport mode. It eats gas. How many of you guys do that? Do you get in there and double tap your um traction control button? Did you know that, Patrick?
No.
If you double tapped your traction control button, it goes into sport mode. So it
Really?
disables all the stability control or whatever. If you can do a smoky burnout or I haven't fucked around with it at all.
I haven't tried that.
Did you know too? I don't know if you guys knew this. I don't know if all of you have tire training tools, but I believe I mentioned it a while back. If you hit your hazard button, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it puts it into tire training mode. So instead of doing, the 1, 2, 3, hit the brake, 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
or whatever, even older trucks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, go into tire training mode, use your little dongle or whatever you got, even like the launch tool that I showed you guys here on the channel a bit ago, whatever you can program the tires for.
That would explain why when I was trying to get a new Ranger a few months ago out of transport mode, it kept wanting to go into train mode.
Really?
Yeah. I was hitting the brake and punching the hazards to get it out of transport mode, and it kept wanting to go in and it'd say train. I'm like, what the hell is it doing? So now I have an answer.
Interesting. I haven't had to take one out of transport. That's funny. You're probably like, man, what I'm doing this thing. What the hell is
it's like, what the hell is going on here? This thing keeps wanting to go into tire train. I'm just wanting to take it out of transport. So now I know. Been an educational evening.
That's what we're here. We're trying to drop knowledge. At least somebody can come away with something that's we know we did our job. What are the little tidbits for Super Duty? I had another thing that we got coming on the channel. I got video of these next couple of weeks. One was the lower fuel filter on these trucks, and we had just talked about doing the upper conversions. Have you ever done fuel filters, Patrick, on a 6.7 on a Luma Duty, and you got the cartridge?
Yeah. During the tank drop down.
Yep. A lot of guys. We just did it today. So my customer comes in and he had the blank fuel water drain on it. Okay, you guys can read between the lines.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't like it. He didn't want it on there, and I took it off. You guys saw the short. Somebody got upset, and we don't talk about that no more. So we use the stock drain, and he asked me, he's like, is this thing going to be draining, 5-10 gallons out? We'll see. Sometimes it does it, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. But while it's doing that, I'm going to go through, I'm going to bust out all these lug nuts off because I had to do a works, get all the lug nuts off. Tires are stuck on it, pound all the wheels off. They're sit there floating. Boom, it just stopped. Awesome. Well, not all the time does it happen like that. And it happens to me. It keeps going and going. And I do just that and it's still going. I'm like, damn, I'm not waiting anymore. Let it rain. Well, when you're doing this at home, sometimes these guys, you all don't have the feel. We as technicians, I have to be able, we're seeing a bolt. Like if you're doing a transit EGR cooler, bro, you're not seeing it. You have to see with your fingertips. So a lot of you guys out there don't have that sense of feel. And this, oh, how do you take this fuel connector off on top? It says in the book I'm supposed to take it off. I remember A-Rod telling me, oh, oh, all right, we're not messing with any lines, okay? I'm showing you an easier way to make a mess. And you're not going to make a controlled mess. You're not going to make a mess in your driveway. It's going to be a controlled mess. You're not going to wait. Who wants to sit there and wait for 5 and 10 gallons of diesel? Oh, I got to change my bucket. It's going to stop. You don't got no more buckets. Just be done with it. And we're going to show you a better way to do this. It's going to require you to get a cheap piece of equipment, and it's something you're going to use every time, and it's going to be equipped to be stored safely and cleanly. And you guys may think, what is this? But when you see me use it, and I show you guys the exact thing I have, you know what? I'm getting one. I'm telling you, it's when you're doing the Ford ones. But if you had the spin on the HSM lower conversion, I haven't changed mine yet. It's coming up, but I can't foresee that we're going to have a predicament like we sometimes have, where the Aluma-Duties just keep draining and draining and draining and draining. Some guys say you can take the upper filter connection, one of the lines off there, and do it. Man, I don't give a. I'm lifting the truck up. I got to get this stuff rolling. If it's going to do it in a stop. If it's not, I'm ripping all them 8s out, and it's just going to come down, and I'm going to be as controlled as possible. So that's going to be exciting to show you guys. But I'm really excited for this other one I just finished. A bunch of dudes have asked about it when these first came out, and I didn't have any info on it. But I actually got another one scheduled to do from Ohio. And this involves tremors. And this doesn't have to be a tremor. So stay tuned to the channel, because it is this Texas guy 3374. He might want one on his antimatter. Might have to fly down and hook you up, or you can fly me down, or you can come up here because you're gonna want one. People say that if the fuel level is low, between a quarter doesn't drain as much. I've never heard that before. Have you heard that? Fuel level. That's interesting. That's interesting.
Disconnect the connector. You'll be fine. That's what it says in the workshop menu.
Somebody. Let's see here. Oops. One of our followers just emailed me the links to all 3 pieces, like just now, for the upper filter mod that I did. eBay, USP Motorsports, and then another MRO stop automotive supplier for that Parker 90-degree elbow, which, man, it looks clean. I've done three now, the same way that I did that black truck. Looks clean. It was a simple mod. Fly me down. I'll hook you up. Freddie's here. Fred, I got one for you, which everyone will get all bothered by. Let's ruffle some feathers. But the fleet I work for, all we use for oil is 5W40. Oil for gas and diesel besides hybrids. I'm good. 540. I'm good with that. I'm good with 1030. What I don't like to see in the 6.7 is 1540. Either 1030, 540.
1540 all day, every day in Florida.
I use a small inline pump to remove the diesel from the pail to a diesel can or a shop vac. Just nasty. Man. That's the worst, is getting diesel fuel on you and then wearing it for the rest of the day. So if you're going to have a fuel system repair, hopefully you're going to finish your tear down by the end of the day so that you don't have to wear diesel fuel all day. What fuel
That's
is
pretty-
used in?
That's pretty possible. In 8 hours, you should have the injectors out, the tank drop by then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fuel's a big one. Couple of cool mods to do to the truck. If you guys don't want the plastics, you know, it's up to you. So fuel additive I use. I pour it in before filling up. When filling up, I use some diesel to help. Huh? Yeah, I don't know. I can't decipher that. Yeah, rear end fluid's even worse too. Oh man. That's awful. Even if you had spilled that stuff on you at work. Oh, I did. But you know how like your work pants, I mean mine aren't. I don't wear skin tight work pants, but like your work pants don't touch your leg. Well, I did something and the bottle of 75 140 was open on the bench and I hit it and it you know it and you're like, oh, but like your shirt didn't touch your body. So like I immediately take my uniform pants off because like I don't want it to get on my socks and on my boxers. And it's, you know, it hadn't soaked through. I mean, it was like just I'm you know, it's just off. I'm not wearing fucking rear end dope all day. Oh my gosh.
No.
Oh, that's awful. Oh, hot shot secret. So fuel additive, I use hot shot. I pour it in before filling up. But when filling up, I use some diesel to help the hot shot into. Yeah, I always fill it up before. I always put my additive in before I fill my truck up, and then my daughter calls it Super Duty medicine. So I make sure to put Super Duty medicine in first, and then I fill up. And yeah. I need that CP4 prevention bad. Damn fuel system haunts the back of my mind. Tim over at AccurateDiesel.com. If you're familiar with Michigan, he's over here. He's got them in stock. He's got replacement filters, and he will get it sent out to you. Just had a guy order one today from him. I'll buy the parts, beer and wings. I have one. I just got to install it. Hey, at least you didn't put it on your other truck. Just did my prevention 2 weeks ago. I'm telling you guys, it's a good thing to have on that thing. The 6.7. After seeing Luke break it down, plain as day, boom, right in front of you. You saw what the truck did. You saw what it sounded like. Did you guys hear when he started that thing up at the Ultimate Callout Challenge? And you just hear that ding, 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 ding. Like, man, that does not sound good. Well, when they took that thing apart back at the shop, you got to see that metering valve, the insides of the pump, and everything that was associated with that. And they put a new one in, and she running flawless. Dude shows up to work and looks dirty as already. You guys got one of those. Yep. I got my SNS in. Install it soon. Yeah, babe. I'm having problems putting diesel in right now. I can't afford it. Yep. Neither am I. Yeah, totally. Totally. Well, guys, I think we might cut it off now. I want to thank you guys. Make sure to come by Friday, and these next few weeks with videos, you guys are going to be pretty stoked to see what's going on this tremor. You guys have been asking for this for Super Duties, and now I'm delivering. I need to get a CP4 kit at 145 and scared as hell. Do it. You won't be disappointed. Patrick, we appreciate you coming on, hanging out with us. Ford Boss, he going to eat dinner, and we'll catch you guys next time. I appreciate you. See ya.
Thank you. Thank you very much.